Hi, my name is Marissa and welcome to my channel. This is actually my first video and I thought it would be perfect to start out by doing a video on my June TBR, which will be like all Pride themed, like every book is Pride. I might throw a couple random ones in there, we'll see, but all the books I have in my stack are Pride related, so I'm very excited about that. A little bit about me is that I work at a newspaper and work on the magazine that is tandem with our newspaper. I live in the Midwest. I have a boyfriend and he has 2 kids and we have them sometimes too, so have kind of an interesting life sometimes and it's wonderful all at once. My cat Jasper is meowing at me right now because I closed him out of the room trying to film quietly. I have a dog as well. She's super cute. I'll put pictures up or something. And yeah, so welcome. I hope that you enjoy everything and I'll try not to be too awkward. So I am doing a readathon through Riley Marie's channel over on booktube, and she's one of my favorite YouTubers and she's just so wholesome and so cute and so perfect. So it is the Rainbow Readathon and it's got this really cute like Candyland looking board, and you like roll a dice and whatever you land on, you pick, it's a prompt and then you pick a book that coordinates with that prompt. So I've got my list here on my phone that I'll go through and kind of explain. A lot of the books I don't have physically, so I'll pop up like a little picture. And yeah, so I went ahead and did my rolls, and then maybe later in the month whenever I'm through these books I'll do another couple rolls just to kind of see if I get anything different, but this is what I'm starting out with. So my first roll was a free space, so a book that I've had on my Kindle forever that I've wanted to read is called The Meet Cute Club, and it's about this guy Jordan who wants just to read his books and enjoy them and talk about them in his little book club called The Meet Cute Club. But his book club is kind of dying, so he ends up partnering with this employee who just kind of nags him about what he reads because it's just like smut, I think, pretty sure. And so whenever they team him up to save his book club, Jordan realizes that he may have accidentally judged this guy by his cover. So I think that sounds really cute. The next roll I had was a blue or purple cover, so I decided to do Kiss and Tell, which is about a boy band star who goes through a breakup, then a rebound, and just what it's like to be queer in the public eye. So I think that sounds really cool. There's a couple books out there like that right now that are kind of about boy bands and being gay, so I just think that's kind of a fun, it's not like a trope, but I feel like if we had enough it could be, like queer boy bands. That'd be cool. One of the books, and I have the physical book of this one, is one that's been on my TBR for a long time, and that is They Both Die in the End by Adam Silvera. I don't know if I ever pronounce his name right. That's why I usually don't say the author's names, because I'm terrible at it. So They Both Die in the End focuses on Mateo and Rufus, who are going to die in less than 24 hours. Like, they get the news that they're going to die. So they meet up and they try to live a lifetime in a single day. So I think I've just avoided reading this book because I know it's going to make me cry, and I know a lot of books make me cry, but I don't know, I just know it's going to like break my freaking heart. So I just have avoided it, and I think it's time because everyone talks about how good it is, and it's like one of those books that first blew up on Book Talk, I feel like. And I've owned this for so long. I've had it for so many years on my bookshelves, which is right next to me, and I've just like keep moving it from place to place, and I need to read it. And I love like everything else that he's ever written, so I know I'll love it. It's just stressing me out. So then my next roll that I got was a free space, and this is another book that I've just seen kind of everywhere, so I wanted to read it, and it's one I just got from the library today. It's called Honey Girl by Morgan Rogers, and it's about a woman named Grace who celebrates her accomplishment of getting her PhD with her friends by going on a girls' trip to Las Vegas. Well, next thing she knows, she wakes up and she had drunkenly married this woman, which is very unlike her, and so now she has to kind of deal with those consequences and maybe catch some feelings at the same time. So I think that sounds super cute. I've got 2 more for this readathon. One is in own voices, meaning that the author identifies as the same way as their character does in the book. So this one I wanted to read Just Your Local Bisexual Disaster. So whenever this girl needs a date for her sister's quinceanera, Maggie, the girl realizes her feelings are a lot more complicated than she'd realized. She thinks about all these relationships she's had and how she had like a crush on her best friend, Amanda, since she was like a kid, about her ex-boyfriend who keeps flirting with her all the time, and then there's this new girl in town who she has a feeling for, so she just kind of has to work through all that and just be kind of messy all the while, which I think is fun. Messy characters are great. And then my last roll for the Rainbow Readathon was another free space, so I picked a book, another one that's been on my Kindle forever, that's called Not Quite Out, and it's about this guy named Daniel who's ready to move on, focus on his medical career, and be single. Well, that doesn't go so well whenever he meets William and they become friends, but William is not out, and he's also a recovering addict, so it's just kind of like he's messy. So Daniel has to decide if he wants to risk the relationship for something more or just kind of like move on because it's messy. So those are all the books I picked for the Rainbow Readathon for now, and then I've got this whole stack here I'm going to talk about too. So the next book, I purchased this at the bookstore a couple weeks ago, whenever, like the weekend it came out, and I still haven't read it. It's called Spellbound by F.T. Lukens, and I've loved every other book that F.T. Lukens has written, especially So This Is Ever After. That one is super cute, and this one is magical, like all of his books are, their books are. So it's about Edison Rooker, who isn't sure what to expect when he enters the office of Antonia Hex, the powerful sorceress who runs a call center for magical emergencies. She's intimidating, but she gives him a job and a new name, Rook, both of which he's happy to accept. Now all he has to do is keep his spellbinder and an illegal magical detection device hidden from the police there. And he has to contend with Sun, the grumpy and annoyingly cute apprentice to Antonia's rival, Fable. Now Rook and Sun have no choice but to work together and get their mentors back whenever they're taken and face losing their magic forever. So, magical, queer, it's going to be super cute. I've loved every one of their books. In Deep Waters is one of the other ones, and it's really good too. Another one that I have is one I picked up from the library, One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. For cynical 23-year-old August, moving to New York City is supposed to prove her right, that things like magic and cinematic love stories don't exist, and the only smart way to go through life is alone. She can't imagine how waiting tables at a 24-hour pancake diner and moving in with too many weird roommates could possibly change that. But then there's this gorgeous girl on a train. Her subway crush soon becomes the best part of her day, but pretty soon she discovers there's one big problem. Jane doesn't look like an old punk rocker. She's actually been displaced from the 1970s, and there's something magical going on here. So it's magical, sexy, big-hearted romance where the impossible becomes possible. And then this rest of the stack, I went into the library looking for Honey Girl today. I just got home from it, and I ended up with the rest of the stack that I'm about to show you. So this is Jess, Chunk, and The Road Trip to Infinity. Oh, that's a lot of light. The last time Jess saw her father, she was a boy named Jeremy. Now she's a high school graduate, soon to be on her way to art school. But first, Jess has some unfinished business to settle with her dad. She's driving halfway across the country to his wedding, which happens to be to her mom's ex-best friend. It's not like Jess wasn't invited, she was. She just didn't tell him she was coming. So luckily she's not taking this trip alone. Her best friend named Chunk is joining her. He's always been there for Jess, especially supportive of her transition. And it's just about their roadside attractions, making friends, learning things about themselves and each other, and just kind of like a coming-of-age transition story that I think will be really great. I've got Felix Ever After. This is another one that you see everywhere, and I just don't know why I haven't picked it up yet. So it's by Kaysen Callender. Felix has never been in love, and yes, he's painfully aware of the irony. He desperately wants to know what it's like and why it seems so easy for everyone to find love but him. What's worse is that even though he's proud of his identity, Felix also secretly fears that he's one marginalization too many. He's black, queer, and transgender. When an anonymous student begins sending him transphobic messages after publicly posting Felix's dead name alongside images of him before he transitioned, Felix comes up with a plan for revenge. But he didn't count on his catfish scenario landing him in a quasi-love triangle. As he navigates his complicated feelings, Felix begins a journey of questioning and self-discovery that helps redefine his most important relationship, how he feels about himself. So, Felix Ever After. Another book I picked up from the library today was just on I just happened to see it and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to read this because I read one of Totally McSmith's other books, Stay Golden, which is really good, and so this one is Act Cool. So this one is about August. Another person named August. I wonder if that's just becoming a more popular name. August nailed the audition of a lifetime. He's now a junior at the prestigious School of Performing Arts in New York. There's only one problem. He had to run away from his small town, conservative parents who did not accept him as transgender. If he wants to stay with his aunt in the city, he promised his parents he won't transition and continue to play the role of their daughter. Because August is an actor to the core, he's convinced he can play the part his parents want while acting cool and confident in the company of his talented new friends. But who does August want to be when the lights go down? Act Cool is a story about following your dreams and staying true to yourself. So I'm very excited. I also love the art for these books. Stay Gold was also just really cute art, and it was also trans rep. The last one I picked up at the library is The Summer of Jordi Perez and the Best Burger in Los Angeles. So again, I picked it up because I saw the rainbow, and I was like, oh, well, that's perfect for June. So this is about 17-year-old fashion-obsessed and gay Abby has always been content playing the sidekick in other people's lives. While her friends and sister have plunged headfirst into the world of dating and romance, Abby's been happy to focus on her plus-size life blog and her dreams of taking up fashion. When she lands a great internship in her favorite boutique, she's thrilled to take her first step toward her dream career. Then she falls for her fellow intern, Jordi Perez. Now she's competing against the girls she's kissing to win the coveted paid job at the end of the internship. And really nothing this summer is going to plan. She's also become friends with Jax, a lacrosse-playing bro type who wants to help her find the best burger in Los Angeles, and she's struggling to prove to her mother, the city's celebrity health nut, that she's perfectly content who she is. Just as Abby starts to feel like she's no longer the sidekick in her own life, Jordi's photography surprisingly puts her in the spotlight. Instead of feeling like she's landed a starring role, Abby feels betrayed. Can Abby find a way to reconcile her positive yet private self with the images others have of her? So I love that it is queer and plus size rep. Just, I feel like it's very short too, so I feel like it'll take no time to get through, and it's just gonna be super cute. This isn't including the ebooks that I've put on the list too, but this is this is my haul. So it's so cute. Anyway, that is my June TBR for now, and we'll see if we add it. We'll see if we get through all of these, and hopefully we can, because I'm so excited. So thanks everybody. Peace out, Brussels sprout.